You've made a promise before, right? Of course you have. But have you ever stopped to think about what makes one promise just, well, a nice gesture, and another one a legally binding agreement? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on that whole journey. We're going to trace the life of a contract from just an idea all the way to a serious legal tool.
We're going to tackle this in 4 big chunks. We'll start with that initial spark, then get to the absolute heart of the deal. After that, we'll look at the happy path where everything goes right, and finally, what happens when a deal goes wrong.
All right, let's dive in. Let's start right at the beginning. You know, every single contract, I don't care how huge or how tiny, it all starts with something really simple. A conversation, a proposal from one person to another. This is that first little spark.
And that first step has a name. It's the offer. It's that initial proposal. It could be as simple as me saying to you, hey, I'll mow your lawn this Saturday for $20. That's it. One person just lays out what they're willing to do and what they want for it.
So, once that offer is out there, the ball is officially in the other person's court. And really, they have 3 basic moves. They can say, yep, I'm in. That's acceptance. They can say, no way, total rejection. Or they could come back with, how about for $15? And that is a counteroffer, which, by the way, just starts the whole process over again with a brand new offer on the table.
Okay, so let's imagine we've got an offer. I'll mow your lawn for $20. And we've got an acceptance. You've got a deal. Now, this is where we hit a really critical fork in the road. This is the test that decides if what we have is just a friendly favor or if it's something the law will actually enforce.
So what is it? What's the secret sauce that takes a simple promise and gives it real legal muscle? Because it's not just about agreeing, it's about what you're agreeing to.
And the answer is this really important legal idea called consideration. Now, don't get hung up on the word. It has nothing to do with being nice or considerate. In legal terms, it's the price paid for the promise. It's the exchange, the this for that. In our lawn mowing deal, my promise to mow is the consideration for your promise to pay $20. It has to be a two-way street.
And this slide just lays it out perfectly, right? Without that two-way exchange, it's just a gift. It's a one-way promise. If I say, hey, I'll mow your lawn for free, that's nice of me, but it's a gift. But the second I say I'll mow it for $20, that two-way street, that exchange, bam, it becomes a contract. That's the key. So, if you follow that gift path on our map, it usually leads to a dead end in court, but, there's always an exception to the rule, right? There's this legal safety net called Promissory Estoppel. Just think about a charity that starts building a new wing because someone promised a huge donation. If that donor backs out, the charity relied on that promise. Promissory Estoppel might actually step in and enforce it. It's a tricky area, but it's proof that sometimes the law protects a promise, even without that classic two-way exchange. Okay, but let's get back on the main road, the happy path. We've got our offer, we've got acceptance, and we've got that super important consideration. Now we get to see the ideal outcome, where everyone does exactly what they said they would.
So here's how that journey looks. First, the contract is officially born with all 3 key ingredients. Second, and this is the important part, comes performance. I actually mow the lawn, you actually hand over the $20, and once that happens, the contract isn't just an idea anymore, it's a fully enforceable legal reality.
And boom, just like that, its life is over. 100% done, complete. Both sides got what they bargained for, the promises were kept, and the contract did its job perfectly. Honestly, this is the goal of every single agreement. But we all know life isn't always that perfect, right? So what happens when somebody doesn't hold up their end of the bargain? Well, that takes us down the other path on our map, the unhappy path, where we have to deal with broken promises. And that, my friends, is called a breach of contract. It's the exact moment the agreement just goes completely sideways. I mow your lawn, but you refuse to pay up. Or maybe you're standing there with cash in hand, but I never even show up. Either way, that's a breach, and it opens up a whole new can of worms legally. When a breach happens, the law gives us tools, or remedies, to try and fix it. Rescission is basically hitting the big undo button. The contract is canceled. Restitution tries to put everyone back where they started by returning whatever was exchanged. Specific performance is a rare one, but it can literally force someone to do the thing they promised, usually for something totally unique, like a famous painting. And then you've got accord and satisfaction, which is basically where both people just agree to a new deal to settle the whole mess.
Now, there are also a couple of, let's call them escape hatches. A contract to do something illegal, for instance, is void. It was never a real contract, period. But a contract with a minor, that's voidable. It's a valid deal, but the minor has the choice to back out if they want to. See the difference?
So there you have it. From a simple offer all the way to the messy details of a breach, we've walked through the entire life of a contract. Now that you've seen the map, it kind of makes you think, doesn't it? From buying your coffee this morning to clicking I agree on some website, which of the deals you make every day are actually legally binding contracts, and a lot stronger than you might think?